Quick disclaimer, in this video, we critique a lot of video games' work, and we are not trying to discredit the hard work that they put into these games. They're merely examples of how we see the industry changing and improving. Okay, let's get on with the video. Video game characters.
It's over, Jarek.
Never! Going somewhere, Jarek? Jax!
We've always accepted them as being subpar.
I'm sorry. I thought you were a tough guy.
It's unusual to see a new face here.
They've had rubber face.
Well, then we have about 4 days to find him alive.
The animations look awful.
Start running power and data links first, then move to secondary comm traffic. Got it.
But because it's a great video game, we don't really care that it looks bad. Thankfully, nowadays with the new technology in Unity and Unreal, you almost can't tell the difference between a cinematic movie character and a video game character. So we wanted to take a quick little look at the bleeding edge of character animation in video games.
One of the reasons why we're so interested in the
Character animation
is because our new game that we'll be talking about in another video here shortly, it's going to require a lot of character animation, like body animation, as well as facial animation. So I think what we wanted to start with was to go from kind of the beginning of where a lot of this facial animation and characters started, which was, I think, with Unity coming out with their Heretic demo.
Okay, here we go.
You would be hard-pressed to know if this was a game engine or an animated movie. The lighting, the quality of the models, the shaders and everything, they're crazy.
Yeah.
But then as soon as we start getting to the face, and with the face movement, specifically the face, like body movements and everything, I don't think are as big of a deal. I feel like the industry has kind of locked that down, but
Yeah.
face is where it really gets you.
Because humans have such a good eye for what is
Little
real
movements.
and what's not in terms of movement. And as soon as you start seeing a human move slightly different than what an actual human would do, then you're like, whoa, that's not real.
Yeah.
There's one part where
Is
he
there?
talks. They did a really short line of him saying, I've got one shot at this.
I've got one shot at this.
That probably was a freaking ton of work.
Yeah.
But that did look kind of subpar compared to what the Unity and Unreal are doing at this moment. I really want to go look at some of the newer stuff that they've been pushing out.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a virtual human created by Ziva Dynamics. I'm powered by state-of-the-art biomechanical simulation, and I'm running in real time in Unity.
So this is a demo that they announced of a company that Unity acquired called Ziva. They're generating animations for a face from this 4D capture data and AI. This holds up with like AAA quality games.
I would say this is close to a Hollywood, Marvel movie.
Let's go look at Unity's most recent thing.
I have in my head everything that anyone has ever known.
If this is all inside of Unity, that looks so good. And look at the hands! Those hands!
This blows the Ziva one out of the water, I think.
This looks amazing. Wow.
I wonder why this looks better than the Ziva one.
The face animation looks just as good. It's just the situation that she's in.
Maybe.
The lighting.
There's more to distract you. When you watch the Ziva demo, it's like really, really focused. There's nothing other than the face.
Yeah.
So you're forced to critique everything about the face. I think we should go look at Unreal's, and then we'll talk about like the techniques that they're using.
This is CG, which that's amazing.
Yeah.
But right there,
That's...
you look at that and you're like, wow, Unreal 5 is amazing.
Yeah.
That's not Unreal 5.
That's him.
An actual recording of
Yeah.
Keanu. So they go back and forth.
They do a bit of a bait and switch.
They might be doing that on purpose to
Yeah, I
show
think
you,
they
like,
are.
hey, look how close the CG version is to the real version. I mean, it's still very impressive.
Yeah, that looks really good,
Yeah.
though. I think that might be the difference. The movement here, I would say, is on par with the Unity enemies demo, the movement. But I think Unity's rendering was better than this. That's the thing that's making this feel a little weird for me, is that the rendering just, I don't think is there compared to Unity. In terms of, like lighting the eyes and the like hair, and he just feels a little plasticky, doesn't he? Like his rendering.
The whole point with this demo is to showcase, hey, if you download Unreal Engine 5 for free, you, just a kid in your mom's basement, can do the same thing, because those same tools that made this, you can make, in theory. People just accept, oh, it's a video game character, so it's okay for them to just feel a little awkward. And we are trying to pass over that and move right into, I'm forgetting that this is just an animation inside of a video game. This is now, I'm watching a character do a thing without any distractions of poor quality.
Yeah, and so we want very realistic facial movements, because our game is going to very heavily rely on characters and their believability, their emotions. So we want that really, really
fine,
emotional,
subtle.
those little things that your face does.
Yeah.
So we've been researching it a lot, and there's like a lot of different methods for facial animation. Back in the old day, and they still do this to an extent, they would, it's the whole thing where they put markers on your face, and then they have a camera look at you, and then essentially the camera records those markers, the movement of those little markers on your face, and then that basically puppets the head, the face of the CG character. So it's not really a one-to-one translation from the actor to the face. It's more of an interpretation. So that gets into what a lot of these new companies are doing, and what we think would probably be the best, which is 4D scanning. There's like photogrammetry. So you can take a bunch of photos of an object, you toss all those photos into a computer, and then you run some software. It basically triangulates points from the image and then recreates the object in 3D. So what 4D scanning is, it does that same thing, but it does it for every single frame of the animation. So you basically set up like this huge rig of cameras, and they're all synchronized with each other, so they all capture an image at the same time for 30 frames per second. So it's like 30 images for all 30 of these cameras every second.
Yeah.
And all that data is being saved. They run all those images and recreate a mesh of the head for every 30th of a second. So in a second, you have literally 30 head models.
That process was used over 10 years ago in LA Noire.
I'm always happy to help the LAPD.
So the guys' names that I've been seeing doing the repairs on the heaters, they're fully licensed and accredited.
When we were talking about how are we going to get realistic character animation, I was watching a clip of LA Noire, and I'm like, this is an old game, but
and it looks crazy.
The facial animation looks so real.
Yeah.
So they did that exact same system. All
That's
of
crazy.
those little details that you're getting for free with a 4D capture, you would have to think about and create tools in a traditional animation
So
system.
I'm really excited about the 4D capture.
And ultimately, why we want to go with this system is because you're avoiding rubber face.
Hi there, I'm Colin Urquhart. The animation you're watching was produced...
This is not using the 4D capture method. No. I don't think so.
This is the reason why we're showing this is to show this is what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Because for me personally, I feel like it's distracting.
Whether or not we can actually get to this point, I'm unsure. But it is pretty exciting with a lot of these new technologies from Unity and Unreal. The things that they're putting out now in terms of like tech demos are insane. One of the kind of goals of doing the 4D capture for us is because there's only 2 of us for this team, and our next game is rather ambitious as always. We have to have some sort of system that we don't have to tweak stuff. Like doing the traditional route of facial animation with the camera and the dots and everything, that kind of system requires a large amount of setup and tweaking, and like for every single face that you capture, there's a lot of like you have to create a custom face, you have to create custom controls, you have to create custom blend shapes for every single of the phonemes and shenanigans. So one of the goals with using 4D capture for us would be to reduce the amount of complexity and the amount of tweaking that we would need to do. Or at the very least, we want something that kind of automates a lot of the tweaks. And with 4D capture, you get a lot of, like we said, a lot of the nuances for free, which is insane.
Yeah, what is what you got, like 3 circles and only 2 can intersect or something like that?
Like a Venn diagram?
Yeah, where it's like quality, money, and time, and you can only have one. We're kind of trying to merge all of them together by cheating with new systems that this new technology hopefully is allowing us to avoid that. We need a huge team of people to just do the grunt work.
Yeah.
So this is just a really cool time that we live in right now. Being able to play video games and make video games that are so immersive and so realistic. And it's just going to keep getting better and better. And I'm really excited to see within 5, maybe 10 years, there's not going to be a difference between the quality of a blockbuster movie and a AAA video game. It's all going to just keep getting better and look more and more realistic. And we're really excited for the future of that, and we want to be a part of it.
And Unity and Unreal have been really hitting it out of the park. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was a bit clickbaity, but we're probably going to title this video something like Unreal versus Unity. And that is something that's very interesting. A lot of people look at Unreal and Unity like, which game engine should I use? There's a lot of details and technicalities to that. Both of them are amazing. Both of them can do whatever you want.
And I think I'm very excited that they're both here, because if you notice, Unreal comes out with something, and then Unity's like, oh shoot, now we have to work really hard and come out with something that's on par or maybe a little bit better. And there's this leapfrogging, which I think is great.
Yeah, no matter how you think about it, competition in industries is good.
Yeah.
You really want competition so that they're pushing each other to improve. And Unreal versus Unity, they both can do just as good as the other, because ultimately when it comes down to it, they're just a game engine, and a lot of the stuff that they're using to make these realistic characters and stuff doesn't even have anything to do with the game engine. They're using third-party tools and stuff.
I think Unreal's is a lot of custom
Unreal
stuff.
is trying to make their game engine a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
But even now, in the Matrix demo they made, they even said that they used Houdini for the entire city generation. But ultimately what I'm saying is both Unreal and Unity can do whatever it is you want. They always rely on external tools to ultimately make something amazing, and you just have to do your research and figure out what it is exactly you want.
But anyway, I think that's it. Thanks a lot for watching.
We'll probably be doing a actual announcement video talking about the project in depth, what we're actually working towards, and we're excited for that. And that's it.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.